Hey guys, it's Malonb or Malonb from Facebook and malonshop.com. I'm here to make a cast of crew update video. My voice is a little bit odd still. I was sick last week. I'm still a little bit sick and I lost my voice for a couple of days, so it's just starting to get better. So if I sound odd or hoarse or I don't know what else you call it, that is why. Also, because I was sick last week, I had to take a couple of days off. I think I got sick during last weekend, which is when I had the convention, and it wasn't that it was like snowy or anything around here, but it just got really cold temperatures, and I think it was just that, you know, going from cold to hot, or maybe in the convention itself, since there's so many people there, I probably caught something. So after that, after a couple of days, I just lost my voice completely, so I couldn't go to work for Thursday and Friday, which gave me actually a lot of time to work on some knitting and crochet, which was pretty nice, but at the same time, since I didn't feel all that good, it wasn't that nice. Let me show you what I have. I do have a couple of things, or a few things finished. I'll start with the knitting first. The first thing I got done is a shawl. And this is, I don't know if this is, well, yeah, I think it is actually a paid pattern on Ravelry. You can download the pattern, but I got the pattern from a booklet I actually got from Cowl. Let me get that for you. If you know Mel, thank you, Mel, so much. She sent me a couple of booklets from the UK. I think it's UK, right? This one is called Brit Knits, and it has 15 patterns. Looks like that. And the shawl I made is called, let me open it up for you. It is called Ambleside Shawl. It looks like this. And like I said, I think from Ravelry, I made a project page, of course. I think you can also just download or buy the pattern itself. It's a really simple shawl, but really pretty. And this one I actually got done with during the, well, because I was sick Thursday and Friday, and I was just in bed or at home doing nothing. I didn't feel like doing much. Even though I was still sick, we decided to take a small road trip, or a weekend road trip, to Ocean City, which is nearby here, maybe a 2-3 hours drive, just so I can have a change of atmosphere. And of course, the weather is still really cool and everything, so it's not like we actually went to the beach, but we got a hotel that's really close to the beach. It had like one of those ocean views, and it was just really nice to relax in there and have a nice view and everything, so that was pretty nice. So while we drove up there and while we drove back, I had more than enough time to work on more stuff. Again, it's about a 3-hour drive each way, so I had enough time to do that, and I finished this. I used a whole skein of this variegated, which is, both yarns are Loops and Threads Impeccable. I forgot the name of the variegated one, but if you want to check out my project page, you can. And the edging is just the Impeccable in gray. Really nice. I have not blocked it yet, but I did finish it up. I really like the pattern. Really simple, really easy to memorize, and it worked out pretty quickly. The next thing I got done with is a cowl, and this one has no pattern. I just kind of made it up, again, because I just needed something to work on during the trip. This one actually, I just grabbed a couple of unfinished skeins I had of yarn, and just thought of making something like this, and just made it up as I went. It is a cowl, and I used 2 colors for this one. Again, the purple one is again the Loops and Threads Impeccable, and this green one is actually yarn, mystery yarn. I got it from a thrift store a long time ago. Probably like a couple of years ago or something. I don't know how long ago I got it, and it didn't come with a label, but I'm pretty sure it's also synthetic, and it was around the same weight, so I just put them together. And for this, it's knitted. I just cast it on, I think 24, 25, something like that. and did some garter, did some stockinette, reverse stockinette, etc. So it is reversible. That's all I can say. And I actually kind of like it. It reminds me of like those of color blocking in general, which you can totally do. And it has a nice fit to it, so I do like it a lot. I am making another one. I don't know if I'm gonna make it this small. Maybe I'll make it bigger so I can loop it twice or something. Not sure. The last thing I finished was my panel or my swatch. You guys know I was working on a swatch. I don't know about the results just yet. Yeah, I don't know. I still have to think about it. But this is my finished swatch. And I do have one work in progress in knitting. I told you guys a cowl. I'm making another one. And this one actually I am loving so much. I haven't tried this technique yet, but from this, I just love it. I'm making a striped one. And I am carrying the yarn up. If you guys know that technique, instead of changing colors or cutting the yarn and then starting a new one for each row, I'm just carrying the yarn up on one of the sides, and each row is two rows, or each stripe is 2 rows. So, and I am doing garter stitch. This would be the right side, this would be the back side. I think both sides look great actually, but I really like this technique, really easy. And I know before I probably mentioned, I'm sure I mentioned because I know I thought of it, that I hated garter stitch just because I felt like you had to work or put too much work towards the fabric, since it's reversible, you kind of had to do twice the work, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. And I didn't like it because of that, because it took too long in my mind. But now that I've done it, I did it for the other cowl as well. I really like garter stitch. I like how it feels. I like that it is reversible. I like how it looks, and especially with strapping like this. I'm really thinking of doing my next sweater, whatever sweater it is I'm doing. I'm really thinking about doing it in stripes. Sorry guys, I had to stop for a little bit because I got a coughing fit. So, but anyway, yeah, this one is another made up pattern. I think for this one I tested on 26. I just did some stockinette and doing the stripes, and I have this much left of my scrap yarn of the gray one, so I'm just gonna finish this up. I have a bit more of the purple, so I'm just gonna finish up the gray doing stripes, and then I'm just gonna go as long as the purple will take me basically, and then just connect it at the ends to make infinity cowl or whatever they're called. But yeah, I really like that one. And now I'm going to go to crochet. I do have one finished project and one work in progress for crochet. My finished item is the sweater. Last time I showed you guys I was working on a sweater for my husband. This is a free pattern. It's from Red Heart. I think it's called something like Father's Pullover, something like that. It will be in my blog, or if you have checked out my project page, it's in there as well. It is a free pattern. It looks like this. I completed it. My husband has worn it a couple of times already. It fits pretty well. I have not taken a picture of him wearing it, but he actually does like the fit. When I was making it, I thought the arms were gonna be so huge. I don't know if they look huge now, but in just the shaping of it, I wasn't sure if they were, you know, if they made sense, just because compared to him or his arm, they really looked pretty huge, but it's actually a really good fit. Overall, just looking at the sweater, especially after making a knitted one, I don't know if I like the look of crochet, or this crochet stitch in particular, which is half double crochet. It's not bad, but I think I just like the knitted fabric, again, in general, so much better. The other work in progress, but the last work in progress I have for crochet is actually a blanket. You guys know how I finished last time. I showed you guys a baby blanket I was doing, and I wanted to start on a new one, an Afghan in general. I wanted to make a bigger one, and I decided to make a queen size Afghan as a stash buster project. So I have made up a chart for that. This one is Nintendo or video game related, and this is what the blanket would look like. So it has sort of like 4 panels with 4 different characters and 1 item from the Nintendo or Super Mario games. This is specifically from Super Mario Brothers 3, I think. You guys know the Goomba is one of my favorite characters, so I had to include him. And the shoe I just always loved, so I had to include that. But this is what it looks like. And from my chart, originally I was thinking the one square here would equal 1 granny square, but that is just too huge of a project. So I decided to make 1 pixel, which is 4 squares equals 1 pixel. Just make 1 granny square, 1 pixel. I'm not gonna confuse you guys, but that is what I'm doing in general. Again, if you want more details, it will be in my blog, or actually I will be having all the details on my project page on Ravelry, which you can find via my blog, or if you know my Rav, which is Malonb, you can just go check it out there. And I did all the math for this, you know, how many granny squares in total, etc. And from what I found, I should have looked up the exact numbers, but again, it's on my Rav, but it's somewhere around over 1,200 squares or 1,200 granny squares. I am doing my squares 2-inch by 2-inch squares, so they are pretty small. And I have already finished a few rows here, and because it's just the beginning, this will look like nothing still. But I will be posting pictures up of my progress again in my Rav. I have a few rows done. So far it looks like this. And I think, well, I was doing completed rows, if that makes sense. But instead of doing that, just so I can have some kind of, just so I can kind of see it done quicker or see the characters finished quicker, just for my like instant gratification type. Instead of working like the whole, the whole blanket up and down completely, I think I'm gonna start doing, panel per panel. So maybe I'll do this one first, and I'll go from panel to panel just so I can get them done, and I'm actually able to see how they're coming out instead of working all of them at once, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is going to be a really long-term project. Again, doing the math is going to take me like just thinking about how many squares I could actually do a day realistically, with my life, how my life is and how much time I have available. I thought maybe I would do 4 squares a day every day, which will take me, I think, about 300 and something days to finish. So it's going to be a really long time before it is actually completed. But again, because this week I was sick and I had a couple of days off in the beginning of the week because of the convention also, I just had a lot of time on my hands, fortunately and unfortunately, since I was sick. So I got all of that done, and I'm way ahead of schedule. I did make a schedule for myself. Again, it's on my Rav, so I'm just looking forward to getting it done in general. And it should definitely be a huge stash buster for me. So I'm really looking forward to that. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is my spinning. I did end up spinning or plying the alpaca that I spun. Where is that? Oh, it is here. It's still resting. I have not had a chance to make it into a hank yet, obviously, but I will be doing that by the end of next week probably. And I did have a little bit finished here, or a little bit left, that I'm just gonna use up as a single because I applied it into a double. So I don't know how much I have of this one, but again, it's probably, I would say this is a bulky, at least a bulky, if not super bulky. It is not that even yet. I do need to practice, and that's what I plan on doing this week, is just practicing on how to get thicker or thinner yarn or thinner spun plies when, you know, as I choose to, instead of just going with whatever the yarn wants to do. I want to be able to do either or when I want to, if that makes sense. And if you guys use spinners out there, especially with a wheel, if you guys have any tips on that, do share with me. I also still have to finish that blue fiber I'm working on with the drop spindle. I have not finished that yet, and I was going to do half on one spindle, half on the other, and then ply them together to make it a double ply. But when I waited, last time I shared that with you guys, I actually found that I had already plied. Sorry, my phone. I found that I actually had plied, I have spun over half of the fiber already. So what I wanted to do was just finish spinning all of it, and then maybe plying it on my wheel and doing a 3-ply with what is that technique? The one I did with the other yarn. I forgot, but I was going to make a 3-ply out of it. So again, for those of you guys who are spinners and have a wheel and also drop spin, have you ever tried to or wanted to ply the yarn you spun on your drop spindle, wanted to ply it on your wheel? And if so, how did you do it? I do not, if at all possible, I do not want to take the yarn off, transfer it to a bobbin, and then ply it, because that's just a lot and too much work. I just want to do it directly from the spindle itself, from the drop spindle itself onto the wheel, if that makes sense. So if you guys have done it before or have any tips or suggestions, do share that also. The next thing I want to share with you guys is, oh yes, I have my February Yarn Club baggie. My husband picked one out. Let me get it. This month it is this one, so I'm just gonna open it with you guys. And if you guys do not know what yarns I chose for the 12 bags or 12 surprise bags of this year, I do have a blog relating and a video that is relating. I will be posting the blog below. You can just view my YouTube channel for the video. It's pretty obvious from the title of, you know, what it is. Oh, it's the blue one. Okay, this month it is the Highland wool yarn from discontinued brand name yarn.com. I love this one. It's a really pretty yarn. I forgot the color of this one. It is called turquoise, and it has darker and lighter shades in there. I don't know if you can see the color variation, but it is really pretty. I'm really excited to work with this one. I'm pretty sure this one I want it to be a cowl. So since I'm into cowls as of recently, pretty excited I get to make one with this. I do have a note here. Yeah, I said cowl or infinity scarf. Maybe he'll double. Those were the notes I added in the baggie. And unfortunately, this is the only one I have. So whatever project I have, probably have to, you know, just use it all up. Really excited about that. And the last thing I want to share with you guys actually is a surprise. Well, for me, it was, I guess I would say it's a mistake, but then it was, I guess, a good one. You guys know I'm on a yarn ban or yarn diet, whatever you want to call it, and I'm not buying yarn since, I haven't been buying yarn since the beginning of the year. Actually, yeah, since the beginning of the year, and I already have only a couple of dates set for when I will allow myself to buy yarn, which is the Maryland Ship and Wool Festival. If I make it to Rhinebeck in New York, if I do make it to Rhinebeck, I will be trying to go to that yarn place around there. And I forgot the name of it, but there's like a yarn store out there. It's not in New York. It's in one of the neighboring states. I forgot where it was exactly, but there's a yarn store there that I went to check out. And the last one was going to be, oh, again, the Black Friday or Thanksgiving season, since they do have a lot of awesome sales and I can't miss it. But actually, I made a purchase last weekend because without even realizing, because I was, one, really excited, and two, I was just excited actually. There's no number two. I was just excited I actually found yarn there. I was like, I have to have it. And after the fact, I realized they were actually missing quite a lot of information on it. So all I asked the lady was if she spun it or she dyed it. She did say she spun a lot of the yarn that she was selling, but the one I specifically bought was not hand spun. It was just hand dyed. And actually, let me get it for you guys. Okay, this is from MagFest. And if you guys are not familiar with MagFest, it is a convention that is about video game music in general. I think that is the theme or the purpose of the convention itself. So of course, related to that, there's a lot of video game stuff. They have a lot of vendors there who sell video game related items, and also handicrafts or things people make that are related to video games, etc. and the like. And there was this one booth I stopped by, which there was it was a couple of people. I don't know who actually does all the work, but one of the ladies there was selling yarn, and the other stuff that she was selling was crochet and some knitted items. So since I saw yarn there, it's the only one I saw yarn in, so I had to go check it out. She had a lot of really pretty colors. I would say the prices were pretty reasonable. And anyway, this was relating something to Zelda, or Link from The Legend of Zelda. Again, if you guys are not familiar, that is one of my favorite game series of all time. So I was like, Link relating yarn. I mean, you know, like both mixed together. I had to purchase it, and I got two just because the skein didn't look all that big, and each one was $5, so that wasn't too much of a splurge. But after the fact, and I didn't even realize it until after I bought it, these don't have any information as far as, you know, what type of yarn it is. That's all it came with, just a price tag. So it doesn't say, I'm pretty sure it's wool because that's what it feels like, but it doesn't say what type of wool. It doesn't say the yardage, the weight, etc. But I figured I'm going to just, you know, just play around with it, and I'm sure I'll put it to good use. But this was actually the one I purchased last week, and again, it was a mistake. I didn't even think about it, whether I should be purchasing or not, and just kind of went there, grabbed it, and bought it. And then afterwards, I was like, was I supposed to buy yarn? But then I wasn't gonna go back and, you know, return it just because of that. So I have two new additions. Pretty excited. I think that's actually all I had to show you guys. I will be having more information on my blog, so do go check it out. And again, if you guys are on Ravelry, my name is Malonb. You can check out my project pages. I have more information on there as well. I'm really trying to have all my projects on there for my reference, and also for you guys if you want to check them out. Until next time, guys, I guess, have a great week, or have a great 2 weeks or whatnot. And do check out the rest of the custom crew below. And I'll see you then, or I'll see you later. Bye.